Hello everyone, my name is Brianna Alexander and I am going to give a persuasive speech on why perfectionism can be more harmful than laziness because it leads to procrastination, self-judgment, and overall less success. All right, this subject was interesting for me to research and to learn about because I am trying to be a lot better with perfectionism and be less harsh with self-judgment. So my first point is that perfectionism is, according to Gordon Flett, PhD professor at York University, it's where an individual is usually never satisfied with their accomplishments or achievements. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to introduce everyone. Let me do that real quick. If I could have everyone just introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Ashley. Hi, I'm Carla. I'm Steph. I'm Danielle.
Hi, I'm Demetrius.
Do we get everyone?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you guys. All right. So perfectionism is, according to Gordon Flett, PhD professor at York University. It's where an individual is usually never satisfied with a great accomplishment or achievement. And the American Psychological Association calls perfectionist behavior perfectionist strivings. So what are the strivings? They are fear of failure and indecisiveness. That's from the article, Young Adults Are More Perfectionistic Than Ever Before. Perfectionism causes more procrastination than laziness because with perfectionism, the person overanalyzes themselves and it can put them in a state of paralysis. And what is laziness? Well, author Neil Burton for Psychology Today tells us that it is a lack of desire to do the work. And perfectionistic people, they do have a desire to do the work, but what happens is the same result as laziness, where they don't get as much done. And perfectionism causes severe self-judgment. So this is where basically you just feel like you can't move forward, and it's the same result as laziness, but the feelings are more harsh, and it can cause lower self-esteem. So Gordon Flett tells us in an interview with the American Psychological Organization that research over 10 studies shows us that 1 in 3 teens have a form of perfectionism that puts them at risk. And what is the risk? It is loneliness and isolation. Leadership researcher and professor Fred Harburg argues that perhaps the most harmful consequence of perfectionism is harsh self-judgment. And I can completely relate to that. But lastly, perfectionism can lead to less success. Fred Harburg, the leadership expert mentioned before, he writes that perfectionism can lead to devastating consequences due to unreasonably high standards for yourself. Researchers insist that perfectionism is a huge perpetrator of anxiety, depression, and low self-esteem. And in the article called Young Adults Are More Perfectionistic Than Ever Before, professionals state that a slowing GDP per capita, which is a country's overall economic output, the slowed economic output is linked to perfectionistic tendencies. And they also state that economic inequality is associated with higher levels of perfectionistic concern. So through all of this, I learned that being a perfectionist is not necessarily a good thing. It can actually be very harmful and be linked to mental health disorders, self-judgment, less success, and it can just really cause harm, more than laziness can. I also would encourage myself and others to strive for excellence or for positivity rather than strive for perfectionism and judgment of themselves. So I am going to show the audience one more time just to show that everyone's listening. It's the audience. All right. Thank you everyone for listening.